Okay, so in this lecture we will basically see the basics of BJTs, that is bipolar junction transistors. So first of all we will see what is transistor. So a transistor is uh, this BJT transistor is a three-layer semiconductor device that basically consisting of either two n-type layers and one p-type layers, or two p-type layers and one n-type layers. Okay, so basically a BJT, that is BJT stands for bipolar junction transistor. So it is called bipolar junction transistor. So what is the meaning of bipolar? So basically here this bipolar means it is having two type of carriers basically. So here like holes and electrons. So two type of charge carriers will be constituting the current in bipolar type of devices. So bipolar junction transistor means two type of charge carriers will basically constitute the current flow. Okay, so these are the bipolar junction transistors basically. And also it is bipolar junction transistor means it will be having junctions. So basically in bipolar transistors the junctions are defined like it is uh, made by connecting two PN junction diodes. So suppose this is P and N, so this is PN junction diode. So this is another PN junction diode. Suppose this is NP is written. So this is one PN junction diode. This is another PN junction diode. If we are going to connect these two PN junction diode, or you can say one PN junction diode connected with other back to back, it is connected. So once we are going to connect, so it will be forming like one P region, one N region, another P region. So it is like two P layers will be there, two P regions will be there, and one N region will be there. Okay, and this N region will be in between the two P region. So this is called PNP transistor. Opposite to that, we can just see if we are connecting such that the three layers are N, P, and N. So this will be called as NPN transistor. Okay, so here basically this BJT is a three terminal device. Okay, so this is the first terminal is basically called emitter, second one is called base, third one is called collector. So it is a three terminal device. The three terminals are E for emitter, B for base, and C for collector. So these are three different collectors. So uh, three different terminals. So based on the terminals only, different layers are defined. So this P region is called emitter region, this is base region, and this is collector region. Okay, so each of these regions have their specific functions, and also some specific properties are there. So we can just write here, if suppose this is a transistor, so the collector region is having the highest width. So the width of the collector region will be highest. Okay, and the width of collector region will be having highest width, and the width of base region will be minimum. Okay, so this is your, so suppose this is P N P, and this is your collector terminal, this is your emitter, this is your base, and this is collector. So collector is having the highest width. Okay, similarly in case of this is PNP, if it is NPN, we can just see this is NPN. So here this is emitter, this is base region, and this is collector region. Okay, so this is collector region. So collector region in both the cases will be having highest width. Okay, so what is the advantage of highest width? Because the collector region, the main function of collector region is basically it will be collecting the charge carriers. Okay, so the collection of charge carriers will be basically defining the collector current. Okay, so that's why the width of this collector region is made highest, so that it can collect maximum possible charge carriers. Okay, so its highest width basically uh, indicate like it should be collecting large number of charge carriers. That means it will be having higher current. Basically the collector current should be high. Okay, so this is our main motive, that's why we have made the highest width. Also uh, the advantage of this emitter is like it should be emitting the charge carriers. Emitter is, it should be emitting the charge carriers, that's why it is heavily doped. Okay, so the in case of doping, the emitter is having heavily doped, and the collector is having moderately doped, and the base region is lightly doped. Okay, so base region is called to be in lightly doped region. Okay, so in case of doping, we can just follow the trend like the emitter is heavily doped, and then collector is moderately doped, and the base is lightly doped. In case of width, we can just see the trend. Collector is having the highest width, then emitter is having the width, and the smallest width is the base region. So why it is having smallest? Because and also the doping is minimum. This is basically to minimize, basically to minimize the conductivity of base region. That means whatever emitter current, emitter terminal, emitter layer is going to emit the charge carriers, most of the charge carriers should be passing to collector, so that collector can collect that charge carrier and pass to the further into the circuit, so that the maximum current constitute. Okay, having the large number of charge carriers. So once this base is made higher width, or it is having doping is having higher, so once it is highly doped, in that case there will be like more number of, if it is having highly doped and also it is having the higher width, then it will be like most of the emitter charge will be recombining here, or recombination will be taking place, and this will be constituting the base current. So most of the current will be passing through base current. In that case, if the base width is higher, so most of the current is passing through base, so the current passing through this collector region will be minimum, so that our motive to have the higher current will be limited. So that's why this base region is lightly doped, and also its width is made minimum. Okay, minimum among all other emitter and collector. So this is the basic construction uh, concept, like how the construction of transistors basically done. So next we will see, like, here the lower doping that we see in case of base. Basically this lower doping of base decreases the conductivity. So once it decreases the conductivity, we can say like it in opposite, like it increases, basically increases the resistance. So its doping is minimum. So minimum doping is having the highest resistance. That means if doping is minimum, the resistance will be higher. So if resistance is higher, that means less number of charge carriers will be passing through this base region. So most of the charge carriers will be passing through the collector, emitter to collector. So this is our main motive, like currents will be passing through emitter to collector, not through the base. Okay, so that's why it is made lower doping. So next we will see the symbol. So if it is PNP transistor, okay, and NPN transistor. So PNP transistor is there, then its symbol is given like, if it is PNP transistor, so the symbol of BJT is basically given by this. So if it is PNP, the arrow will be here. Okay, so this is PNP transistor. So this is collector region, and this is base, and this is emitter. That means the current direction, this arrow indicates the current direction. So this will be the direction of current. So the current will be passing through here and here. So this is the direction of current in case of the PNP transistor. Okay, so here in case of PNP, just see, so the current will be passing like from here P type to N type, the current will be passing. So that, and in that way the current direction is basically indicating the PNP transistor. Okay, and also in case of NPN transistor, the symbol is this, and the, okay, so here this is PNP, so this region will be P. Just can draw by using different color. This is P, this is N, and this is P. Okay, so if we talk about the current, so this is N side and this is P side. So the current direction will be like, the current should be passing from P to N region. Okay, so inside this, if we are drawing, the current will be from here, or in this case, like from here we can say P and N is there, the current will be passing from P to N. That's why it is showing P to N region. Similarly, in case of this, like NPN transistor, so if it is NPN transistor, so if it is NPN transistor, the current direction is here. So this is your collector, this is emitter, and this is base. So this is uh, NPN. So the current direction showing this way, that means from P to N, the current will be flowing from P to N side. So this is your PNP, NPN transistor. Sorry. So this is the symbol of the transistors. So next we will see what are the different mode of operation. So basically these BJTs are operated in 4 different modes. 4 different operating modes are there. If there are 4 different operating modes in BJTs, so we will see one by one. So the first one is like cutoff region. Second one is saturation. Third one is active, and fourth one is called reverse active. Okay, so these are the different mode of operation of BJTs. So we will see one by one. So we can just summarize the mode of operation. So suppose this is okay. So this is P and P. Okay. So this is called emitter. This is base, and this is collector. And the junction between this P and N, that means emitter and base. So this junction is called emitter junction, or emitter base junction, we can call it emitter base junction, or in short form it is called JE, that means emitter junction. And this junction is between base and collector, so this is called collector junction. Okay, so based on the biasing of this junction, so either this emitter junction or collector junction is biased in what particular mode. Based on the biasing, we will be defining the different mode of operation of these BJTs, so that we can just conclude based on the emitter junction and the collector junction. This is mode of operation. Okay, so suppose the emitter junction and collector junction is such that if emitter junction is forward bias and collector junction is reverse bias, then the BJT will be working in active mode. Okay, similarly, if emitter junction is reverse bias and collector junction is also reverse bias, then the BJT will be working in cutoff mode. Okay, if both are forward bias, then it will be working in saturation region. If the emitter junction is reverse bias and collector junction is forward bias, that means it is opposite to the active one, that's why it is called reverse active mode. Okay, so this is the different mode of operation of BJT. So if it is in active mode, then the BJT can be worked as an amplifier. Okay, and if it is working in cutoff, it will be working as a switch, or basically off switch. If it is in saturation, it will be called like on switch. It will be working as on switch. Okay, so this is the basic mode of operation of BJTs. Okay, so this is all about the today's lecture. We will see the next like basic. Our basic is like active mode we will be seeing. So active mode of operation is one of the important one, that is like the BJT is going to work in amplifier as an amplifier. So we will basically consider the active mode of operation of BJTs, and that will be more advantageous. And so we will be going to analyze this active mode in detail, so that we will see into the next class.